Welcome to London, where the weather is terrible and the housing situation is even worse. Yes, this is the land where a simple egg and cress sandwich now costs you £4 fricking quid. And given the fact that an average pint of beer is setting us all back £8, up from £2.30 in 2008, is it any surprise at all that people are saying our capital's housing situation and associated costs are royally and totally and utterly broken? Despite a cost of living crisis, the war in Ukraine, rampant energy and fuel hikes, Brexit, rail and tube strikes every other month, house prices have remained at astronomically high levels. The median cost for a new home in North London currently sits at around £700,000. For East London, make that £630,000. South London is £650,000. And West London comes in at £870,000. On average, 870 grand. For that price, you could have bought this palatial Grade 2 country estate in Worcestershire, complete with 20 bedrooms, 20,000 feet of interior space, original detailing, and 8 acres of land. Albeit the house needs some major restoration work, but I'm willing to take that hit. So you think the option is just to go out a bit, right? To join all those other 30-somethings with a 9-to-6 job, 1 kid, a bad back, and a dash to catch the fast train home. Unfortunately, you're a few decades too late, mate. Data shows that some of outer London and its surrounding areas' most popular locales have been shooting up in price as well. In just under 30 years, house prices in Wimbledon have increased by 718%, 804% in Dulwich, and even 419% in Orpington, Kent. By contrast, inflation has only increased by 146% over the same period. God, I wish I was older. But now let's throw mortgages into the mix. Back in December 2021, an average 2-year fixed deal was 2.34%. That same product has been seen as high as 6.64% not too long ago. We're looking at an increase of circa £930 per month for your average London mortgage. Per month! My first 1-bedroom flat only cost me £400 a month, and it was in Cornwall, and there was lots of sea, and rock climbing, and seals, and Cornish pasties, and sea, and I'm not in the least bit bitter about moving back to this metropolis. All of this is a very roundabout way of saying that moving and buying houses simply isn't on the cards. At least for the vast majority of Londoners who don't own their own private yacht in Monaco or are on some sanctions list somewhere. Life goes on, people have babies, parents come and live with us, and sometimes you just get really gosh darn sick of living in the same old cramped place that you've been knocking about in since lockdown first started. So what do people do? Home extensions. According to national planning information, in London, almost 10,000 planning applications were submitted last month alone. And not to toot our own horn here, but maybe to toot it a little bit. As the largest home extension company in Britain, us folk here at Resi have an unparalleled access into thousands of real projects across this fair city as paid for by its private citizens. By far and away, the most popular type of extension in London overall is the mighty rear extension. And this really is a no-brainer. Not only is there usually a nice big space in which to extend into, rear extensions are generally more favourably looked upon by the council than, say, a front extension because they're out of sight and therefore don't impact the view of the property from the street. Right now, our planning permission rating tops 91% for across the country, and sometimes planning permission isn't even needed at all. With permitted development, so long as the rear extension meets a range of not too onerous criteria and isn't on a listed building or within a conservation area on top of a nuclear test facility, you won't need to submit a full planning application. We've actually put together a pretty thorough guide on permitted development, which I'll include as a link in the comment section below. But now back to prices. According to our figures, rear extensions will typically set you back on average £52,000 in East London, £39,000 in North London, 53k in South London, and 62 grand in West London. Speaking of West London, side extensions are actually way more common there. Maybe the gardens have all been extended into already. But for side extensions, you can expect to pay around £44,000 in West London, £77,000 in East London, £54,000 in North London, and around 61.5k in South London. On the whole, loft extensions are somewhat cheaper and usually cost around £55,000, while basement extensions are way more expensive and will set you back on average 182 grand, or approximately 1 limited edition Birkin bag. You pick. So finger in the wind, you probably need at least £20,000 and more likely £55,000 to £60,000 to do a home extension in London in 2023, depending on where you are, what you're extending, and the quality of the finish you desire. Don't forget, it's worth having a 15% contingency pot in case your project goes over budget. It does happen. Of course, if you would like a more accurate estimate for a cost cost of a home extension on your home specifically, then you do have a couple of options. Option one, we've built a free construction cost calculator that will give you a better estimate tailored to your specific type of house, extension project and postcode. But even better, option two, we run free advice calls where we're more than happy to talk everything extensions through with you to better understand your project and how it should be designed and what the planning permission process is likely to entail, and even if we can connect you with vetted builders who have built extensions in your area. If that does sound up your street, then I've also left a link below where you can book in a time that works for you to chat. Well, there you have it. Those are the costs, and if you don't like them, there's always the rest of this sunny nation to enjoy. Oh, actually I'm late.